Hi, let's have a look at a new kit from a new company, Kajika, and their 1/700th Kongo, their first release. Hi, so let's have a look, see what we get in the box. So to start with, this is the first release from Kajika. So Kajika are basically a sister company to Flyhawk. They're both owned by the same parent company, but they are separate businesses and not should we say, business-wise related to one another. Although obviously they're quite close, and we'll probably see some of those similarities inside the box. But they are completely different. This is the first kit they've released, a 1/700th scale Kongo from 1914. That's when it was basically new. It had a couple of major refits during its life, and the first one's 1929. So what we see here is basically the Kongo when it was a battle cruiser. Later on it was reclassified as a battleship, and then later on as a fast battleship. But this is when it was a battle cruiser, so basically this kit is good for 1914 to early 1929. So let's have a look inside, see what we get. So on the side, I'm not sure what that is, probably the Kongo, but as a matter of interest, you can see on the side here the Hai and the Haruna. Basically there was 4 ships in the Kongo class. This is Kongo was the lead ship and was built in England. The Hai, the Haruna, and the last one was, I believe, the Kirishima, and those were built in Japan. And those are going to be the next three releases from Kajika. So we'll see exactly whether they're pre-Second World War or during the war, what their fit is. And Kajika is going to concentrate on Japanese warships. They've confirmed that. So I shall open the box and have a look inside. So straight off, it looks similar to Flyhawk. Flyhawk's kits are good quality, so we're looking good. Instructions, I'll take some scans of these and go through them in a bit more detail when I've gone through the parts, but these look nice and clear off the bat. Colours, Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, colour call out at the bottom. We'll have a closer look at those in a little bit. So inside, everything is bagged. Decals, a metal weight. This is a waterline kit, not a full hull. And inside this box is also a sprue. So what I'll do is I'll get the things out of the box. As you can see, out the bag, sorry. As you can see, everything is pretty much individually wrapped. A few bits in bags, but everything is bagged up and separate, so nothing's going to get damaged. Right, I'll be back in a minute when I've got everything out of the bags. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a fair few pieces. We have, let's say there's 4 threads there, a couple of sort of part threads here, and so let's go the decks to start with. Lots of marks on the bottom, but the top looks pretty impressive. I'll run this across the top while I talk about it a bit. I like the fact there's a protecting piece over the bow of the deck there to prevent damage. A lot of fine details. I can see there's chains, there's deck planking detail on there. Lots of small parts, a lot of fine detail there. So that's good, looks nice. And also some of the recessed places for the barbettes, for the, I think it's 6-inch secondary armament on these. And the other aft piece of the deck looks nice as well. I'm thinking these very roughly go together, something like that. Oops. Form a overall deck. Here's the base plate, although again with the ends are protected, protecting sprues over the ends, which is nice. Metal plate, which will obviously fit in the middle there too. In fact, it's a bit bigger than that. Put a metal plate there to give it some weight. Main hull. Let's put it that way. I'll run this left to right across the top as well. You see there's portholes. I'm just trying to feel if there's raised detail there as well. I can tell. I can see there's plate detail as well on the sides. So some very nice subtle raised and recessed details here. That's very nicely done. Let's look at the couple of big parts here again. Again, some more nice detail, deck paneling there. Four turrets, nice sloped roofs. And more subtle detail on the top there. These look very nice. Let's look at these. As you can tell here, there's plenty of fine detail in there. Lots of small parts. I'll use a saw to cut off a lot of these parts so I don't damage them. The funnel caps are there in plastic. It's pretty impressive casting to get the holes in there. And the funnels obviously are hollow. So that's very nicely done. Let's look at this one as well. Again, lots and lots of fine detail in there. There's very nicely done. Ship's boats. Varying sizes. Looks like for the most part the planking and stuff is inside most of these boats. They look rather nice when they're painted up. It's nice detail on the outside of them as well. And here we have, looks like the bottom half of the turrets, main guns, secondary armament. All looks very nice. It's well held in place. Lots of nice details on there. Inside this box, I've left it in there for a second. This is the masts. You'll notice if I hold it like that, you can see it has protecting parts coming up and down from it to protect the masts. You can see the masts are not just in one dimension, they've actually got the yard arms coming out at the sides as well. Hence it's in its own box and these great big sticking out pieces that are there to protect it. So that's looking rather nice. And that's something we've seen with Flyhawk kits, is the sprue itself is built to protect the parts it holds. I'll put that back in the box so nothing bad happens to it. Other than that, we've got a small decal sheet with two Japanese flags. There's there's a small correction sheet here. I'll just stick it up on the screen there. Just showing you that there's, parts 12 and 13. I think I looked in the main sheet. They're actually numbered the wrong way around on the main sheet. So that's there. So what I'll do next is I'll go we'll go through the instructions. I'll put some close-up shots of the parts up on the screen as we go through the instructions. But all in all, it's a very nice kit. It's waterline, lots of nice details, some really good, good finely detailed sprues with lots of small parts on them. There's the stuff on here that sometimes you'd think would normally come as photo etch, but they've done it in plastic. So to start with, it's quite impressive. Let's go take some close-up photos and have a look at the instructions and go through those. Okay, so looking at the sprue layout here, you can see everything is used, which is what you'd expect with the first kit of a series. And it's laid out quite nicely. It's a bit small, but then again, generally I don't use these for much really. Okay, step number 1. Let's look at this particular part here. You can see the portholes, they look black in this. They're not actually drilled through, but I notice on this and portholes on the hull sides, they appear as black already. So maybe I won't need to drill those out. The portholes also have, as you can see here, forget the correct names, but the little eyebrows over them. So that's good, nice detail there. Deck detail on the top as well. So this is putting what part of the superstructure together. Step 2 is all about the masts. So as we see here, there's the sprues. The sprue with the masts has some other sprues at 90 degrees to the sprue, basically here to protect the masts, which is a very nice move. And also this was also in a cardboard box as well, so that was a very nice move to make sure these arrive to you undamaged. And they look like they go together quite nicely, though rather there's a lot of fine detail there, and it should look quite nice when it's all put together. Now to step 3, and basically this is all midships now. And start off with the funnels. As you can see, there's the funnel caps are they're not one solid mass of plastic. They do have holes in them, which is nice. It's usually a lot of, as we've probably all seen, a lot of kits, these will just be one solid piece of plastic, and you've got to fettle around removing pieces of plastic from there. So that's nice. The funnels themselves are also hollow, as you can see here. And then looking at the midships part that you can see here, what we've got is some nice textured detail on the top there. And then where the ships, or some of the larger ships' boats will go in there, those are finely detailed as well. I'll just quickly pop this up. This is an errata sheet. So on the main diagram, J12 and J13 are the wrong way round. So as you can see here, this is the correct way they need to go. All in all, that's basically putting midships together. Those ship's boats look quite nice. Okay, so now down to steps 4 and 5, which is putting the armour together. 16 secondary guns, which is pretty simple, and the main gun turret is also going to be reasonably straightforward, with some small guns going on the top. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. And just looking at the main detail of the main turret here, you can see they look quite nice. Then down to step 6, and now basically we're putting the hull together. We've got the base plate, the metal plate, and then the hull with the barbettes that we or the secondary armament we made in the previous step. As you can see here, let's have a look at some of the detail on the sides of the hull. So start at the aft end, you can see there's those portholes again. They look dark in this shot, and you can see they've got the rain guards over the top. Then look at the going forward a bit. You can see this is where the secondary armament's going to fit. See there's some plating lines on the side, and this is the forward end. And again, the portholes, they look dark in this shot already. And then the decks go on, basically a two-part deck. As you can see here, there's some really nice detail here. There's some planking detail on the deck as well. So that should all go together nice with some nice painting. That'll go together well. And now on the instructions, we turn over the sheet, and we're adding the some more ship's boats and their davits, and just basically putting those together in step 7, and we fit them roughly midships in step 8, along with some other small parts. And then step 9 is basically putting all the big pieces together, adding 3 parts of superstructure, adding the turrets, and a few other small parts as well, and the masts as well. And then finally step 10 adds a few details at the bow, step 11 adds some more details at the stern, and then the last bit is we've got the painting guide. There's not many colours used in this. Basically the ship, obviously World War I time, wasn't camouflaged. Colours are called out Mr. Hobby and Tamiya. There's only, if you use Mr. Hobby, there's no mixing. If you use Tamiya, there's just one colour to mix. Nice painting guides for the ship's boats as well. They'll look nice and stand out. And then the painting guide for the hull and the deck. So overall, it's obviously the first kit from Kajika. I can see there's definitely Flyhawk details in here. The way that Flyhawk does things. Kajika has obviously picked up things from the sister company, and it's that's a plus in my book, since Flyhawk does do some very nice things. So this is a nice start. They've chosen the Kongo in 1914, which I don't think anybody else has done before. There's been quite a few different boxings, about 15 different boxings I can find of a 1/700th Kongo, but nobody's done the Kongo at this particular time before, and it'll look very different to a Second World War Kongo with a massive superstructure. So they've sort of branched out. First World War modelers will eat this up, and it's a very, very nice a quality kit, highly detailed, not too many parts. I'm not sure if there's going to be photo etch come out for this or not, but obviously that's probably going to be an option at some point, I would guess. So it's a very nice kit, highly recommended. Many thanks to Kajika for sending the kit along for review. Hopefully we'll have a look at some of their later kits as well as they produce things. And if you're liking the videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot.